A very warm good morning wherever in the world you are. I say good morning, Nairobi time. The time now is 9:16 a.m. The date is 30th January 2018. NASA supporters are in Uhuru Park. There is no huge crowd yet, but I guess they're still streaming in. Will it happen? Will the swearing in of Raila Odinga actually happen? Mimi Raila Amolo Odinga naapa kwamba wow. Talk about giving supporters a massive orgasm, eh? Anyway, just trying to ease your nerves. Yeah, Kenyans are very nervous. The atmosphere is extremely tense. What will happen? What will unfold on this day? Yeah, what story will we be talking at the end of this day? Yeah, is this the Ides of March, which is here but not yet gone? We don't know. But one thing I know, and I need to tell you about what to expect. Yeah, and you cannot go wrong. Yeah, if you follow this expectation. Expect the unexpected. Expect what you do not anticipate. Now, very quickly, let me bring you up to speed. 3 buses were intercepted coming from Mombasa into Nairobi for the swearing in. They were carrying quite a number of supporters, mostly youth. They were intercepted in Voi, Taita Taveta County. Now, by bus, Voi is about 2.5-3 hours from Mombasa. Up to this point, it is usually mostly a climb. Yeah, so the journey gets faster after Voi. So you can do Voi Nairobi in 6 hours at night or 5 hours in a bus. Now the buses were stopped and police arrested the passengers. On what charges? Traffic offenses. Of course, unprecedented in Kenya. Yeah, yes, passengers have been arrested before, 1, 2, 3, but arresting a whole bus. Yeah. And when you ask the police, they say they're going to charge the passengers with traffic offenses. Hiyo ni mpya. Yeah, that's a new one. Now the latest is that the buses were released, and although some ODM supporters were saying, the bus was hired by ODM Mombasa, which is part of the NASA coalition. Although some supporters were saying the bus is now headed back to Nairobi, strangely enough, at least one driver drove back to Mombasa. We do not know the status of the other 2 buses as of now. But the really big news coming into this swearing in, is the fact that it has emerged. The media has actually been threatened by President Uhuru Kenyatta. The threat? Just try and air in the swearing in of Raila. Mtaona. We will withdraw your licenses, we will pluck you off air, etc., etc. It has been revealed that various top editors from media houses in Kenya were summoned to Statehouse on Friday, quietly summoned. And in a meeting attended by President Uhuru Kenyatta, Matiang'i CS, Githu Muigai AG, and ICT Secretary Joe Mucheru, this guy is really establishing himself as one of the people ndani kabisa of an illegally elected government. Okay, of course he's appointed. Yeah, but I don't know. This young man had better be careful, because history, I don't know if you read history in his school. Yeah. Anyway, my mantra, do something that will stand the test of time for the sake of your reputation. Yeah. Well, I'm very sure what Bwana Mucheru is doing will never stand the test of time. Yeah. Now, this revelation was made by Linus Kaikai, who is the chairman of the Powerful Editors Guild, which represents editors in major media houses in Kenya. Now, very interesting, vice chairman of the same organization, who was at the meeting, Bwana Samuel Maina, contradicted Kaikai and said, no, the president didn't threaten. Siasa imeingia kwa media houses, So who will Kenyans believe? It's very obvious. Kaikai very experienced journalist, yeah, very courageous journalist, has been at this game for a long time, has seen several regimes, yeah, Daniel Arap Moi regime, Mwai Kibaki regime, and now Uhuru Kenyatta regime. Yeah, he's experienced. He knows. He knows that the cookie crumbles. He knows things can change in a flash. He knows, above all else, to do something that will stand the test of time. Now, this threatening of journalists is very significant because it tells us something, yeah, about today's swearing-in ceremony. It tells us that the intention of the government is to allow the swearing-in to go ahead, yeah. Because why threaten journalists and tell them don't air this thing live, yeah? And there are a lot of other things that have happened since that prove that this is correct. Because the NASA supporters have been allowed into Uhuru Park, yeah. Things are going on. There are also reports that the NASA principals are not going to be arrested after all. Yeah, there's information that I've just received, yeah. So, well, it looks, for all intents and purposes, that we may actually get to that point, yeah. That point which all NASA supporters and vast majority of Kenyans are looking forward to, that critical point where somebody utters the following words: Mimi Raila Amolo Odinga naapa kwamba, yeah. Now let's look at this a little deeper very quickly, okay? Now, I think it has dawned on the Jubilee government that, what I've been saying on this channel several times, repeatedly, it has dawned on them that the best way of dealing with this, yeah, in order to have minimum impact, is to avoid a confrontation. Arrest Raila Odinga, even momentarily, And I think that's what NASA people were hoping for. They were hoping for confrontation. Because a confrontation would be a spark. And a spark would lead to that word Kenyans are using. It's a very scary word. A revolution. Because historically, revolutions are caused by various things. But always there's a spark, which sparks the home stretch into the revolution. There are also reports that various security personnel have been withdrawn. And what we have in the vicinity of Uhuru Park is skeleton security. But as I said at the beginning of this video, expect the unexpected. Because that's how the day has started. It's looking okay. Doesn't look it's looking like it's going to be very peaceful. But we all know that it's too early to make a call. You cannot say that it's going to be peaceful throughout. And indeed, one would expect that the Jubilee Brigade have planted their troublemakers, or will plant their troublemakers amongst the crowd. If they do that, they'll just be consistent. They'll be behaving very consistently, because this is what we have seen in previous demonstrations, in previous gatherings of NASA supporters. We have seen that some troublemakers have been planted within the crowd. Very difficult to tell the difference, yes. Because all a person needs to do is wear the right t-shirt, the right colors, the right branding to show that they are NASA. And then they can cause all kinds of trouble. And of course, anybody reporting, including the international media, will say they were opposition people. Now, assuming that this goes through peacefully and Raila Odinga is sworn in, what next? Now, in my view, avoiding a confrontation is the right play by the Jubilee government. That is the correct play, of minimizing damage, damage control. However, it does not mean that the Jubilee government is out of the woods. No way. The symbolic swearing in of Raila Odinga, and I say symbolic because of the circumstances, has huge ramifications right across the country. It has huge consequences. Now, politics is all about the people. Politics is all about, perception. Perception. And we'll have a country whereby the vast majority of voters have their president, yeah, and then officially the country has its president. Now I'm informed that the president is out of the country, yeah, is attending this AU summit, African Union summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Indeed, this would have played out well in terms of perception for the Jubilee government, because it would portray a situation whereby the government is not worried, they're not concerned, because even the president is out of the country, yeah, except for one little blunder. This thing of threatening the press, yeah, because that cancels out everything. That immediately shows us, yeah, that the government is worried, because why threaten journalists? Or if threat is too big a word, why caution journalists against airing the swearing in of Raila Odinga? Why, if it's of no consequence? Why, if you're not worried about it? Now, a rapidly increasing number of Jubilee people are using the word coup. Yeah, Aden Duale was reported yesterday using the word coup. Yeah, these people are trying to do a coup in daylight. Yeah. Of course, what they mean is not a coup with guns, but a coup by the people, which I find strange, because really, if it is true NASA do not have numbers, then you cannot use the word coup, yeah, next close to the word NASA, yeah. Well, it seems they don't know, yeah, they're not aware of the fact that when they use the word coup, what they're actually saying is they're confessing NASA has the numbers. And in politics, the numbers are supposed to win. So in other words, they're confessing we're in government with minimal numbers. We're in government illegally, because minimal numbers means that you're not a legitimate government. That's really what they say. That's really what they're saying every time they use the word coup. And, hey, oh gosh, Jubilee don't seem to realize that. A better word for Jubilee to have used, yeah, to pretend and to show people that they have no worries, would have been a word like theatrics, yeah? Yeah, this theatrics in broad daylight. That's what Duale should have said. But when he uses the word coup, you should stop and think what he really means and what he really says, yeah? Now, yesterday, Moses Kuri and company, yeah, made their way to Uhuru Park. And there was slaughtering of animals, blood, meat, which, as you all know, what that means. I mean, we all know what that means. Yes. These are things used when you're doing things like witchcraft and oathing. Yeah. And this Moses Courier group told journalists that the government has asked them to postpone their free circumcision clinic, allegedly free circumcision clinic, and they have accepted, yeah, and therefore they said they'll not be at Uhuru Park today. I will keep you very much posted and up to date and up to speed with the recordings throughout the day, yes, because I'm keeping my eye very closely on what is unfolding. I, of course, have a few people here and there on the ground, yes, in various places. So I should be able to get this information very quickly. And of course, I'll pass it to you, I'll analyze it. Of course, as you know, our channel is not a breaking news channel, yeah, but it is it's for analysis mostly, yeah, political analysis. And so I will try my best as soon as I have something to come on air and pass it on to you. Otherwise, we should expect the unexpected, yeah. Until the next recording, this is Chris Kumekucha.